Welcome back. Looking into political developments now, just ahead of the elections in the state, Dr. Ayya's expected numbers are out after some fine calculations and thinking, it seems. 50 seats in the 2011 polls is what the PMK is looking for. In fact, has announced the same. From whichever party, this particular party, the PMK, plans to join hands with. The fence-sitter in Tamil Nadu politics plans to make a final announcement on their alliance plan post the harvest festival, Pongal. Speaking in Virupuram, Dr. Ramadas called the proposal to reset the minimum voting age to 16 years as inappropriate. At the meeting, he also called for immediate action against those indulging in hoarding, thus leading to the dreaded inflation.
இந்த ரெண்டு அணி இருக்குது. இந்த ரெண்டு அணியில் யார் வரக்கூடாது, யார் வரணுன்றதை அதெல்லாம் நாங்கள் எல்லாம் பேசிட்டு இருக்கிறோம். எங்கள் கட்சியில் பேசிட்டு இருக்கிறோம். பொங்கலுக்கு பிறகு ஒரு முடிவு. பாட்டாளி மக்கள் கட்சி எந்த கூட்டணியில் இருக்கிறதோ அந்த கூட்டணி வெற்றி கூட்டணி. அப்படிப்பட்ட ஒரு கூட்டணி நாங்கள் அந்த கூட்டணியில் சேருவோம். நாங்கள் 50 காப்போம்.
It's ambitious, isn't it? 50 seats is what the PMK is looking at. Moving on to our special report. Imagine a 10-hour train journey but not a single drop of water on train. Well, it was actually too real and too unbelievable, in fact, early this week for many a passenger on the West Coast Express. And when appeals went to the railway attendants, they were actually not so caring. Our senior correspondent Peer Mohammed discovers that such waterless journeys are actually pretty common in our railway lines.
These are scenes from a compartment in the West Coast Express connecting Mangalore Central and Chennai Central. Dozens of children, women and senior citizens had a tough time with no relief in sight.
I've just boarded from Coimbatore in this West Coast Express, and from the time I've just boarded into the train, I haven't found a single drop of water, and none of the attendants have even bothered to do anything about it, not even ask, or if there's no water, there might be a problem. They could have done an alternative and provided some water in a bucket or any way. Any alternative can be done. It hasn't been done. They've just let it very lethargically.
As complaints piled up, the harried railway staff told Ndtv-Hindu that the problem was limited to a few compartments. They also claimed that running without water on long-distance trains was a common occurrence.
In the West Coast Express, நினைக்கிறேன் இதில் நான் வரும்போது பார்க்குறேன், கோயம்புத்தூர்லேருந்து சென்னை வருகின்ற வரை தண்ணீர் வசதி கொஞ்சம் கூட இல்லை. அதாவது 2வது வகுப்பு ஏசி பெட்டிக்கே இந்த நிலை என்றால் மற்றவர்களுக்கு எப்படி இருக்குன்னு எனக்கு தெரியல.
Several representations have been made to the authorities in the past about lack of water in long-distance trains. But till date, there is no sign that effective steps have been taken.
Already we have discussed this issue with the railway board and the general manager, and general manager also assured that it comes under passenger amenity. See, railway has to provide water, not only water, a lot of cockroach, insects are there.
Top officials of Southern Railways refused to come on record when approached by Ndtv-Hindu for a reaction. Unofficially, they blame it on the maintenance staff of certain routes and say that procedural delays are to be expected in a huge system like the railways. While the blame game goes on, it is a journey into agony, distress and discomfort for hundreds of passengers thanks to the Southern Railways. In Chennai, with Peer Mohammed, this is Ashmit Kumar for Ndtv-Hindu.
And we talk, of course, of upgrading our seats when we travel on trains to an AC coach, which apparently has no water nevertheless. But this report will, of course, be aired by us, and we will not let it go just with this report, because this is a few months in the run-up to the railway budget. Moving on, we are in line with business, and so it's time for our special segment, Business Line. India Inc., it seems, is heading for trouble with the industrial production slowing to an almost crippling pace. The industrial output for the month of November last year lost all steam and crawled at 2.7%. The index for industrial production, or IIP, numbers of 2.7% come after robust performance in the month of October, when industrial production grew by 11.3%. Finance Minister Pranab Mukherjee has blamed the inflation for the disappointing numbers. Meanwhile, Montek Singh Ahluwalia, Deputy Chairman of the Planning Commission, has cited the global commodity prices as the culprit.
Production goes down and inflation goes up, it will have an adverse impact, but I am not coming to any premature conclusion. Last time, if you have noticed, in the month of November, there was a sudden jacking up. It was very high. So base effect is also there, but that is no consolation. We shall have to look into and take the corrective measure.
Okay, blame inflation for that, says the Finance Minister, and they are, of course, on a high-level meeting to tackle that big problem called inflation. We'll take a slip into a short break, but it seems that the winds in the Tamil cinema are blowing in favor of newcomers. Well, what's that? Find out after this little break.